Oh, yes, 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 everybody. Today is an exciting day. Today is day 30 of the 30-day Fruitarian Challenge. So, whoop, whoop. Everybody who's gone along on this ride with me, let's have some adulation. Let's get excited because we did it, right? 30 days. 30 days we did it, and we are here celebrating that challenge and whatnot as I want to look back and pretty much summarize what the challenge looked like. But for those of you who are maybe new to the stream or even my channel or even this 30-day Fruitarian challenge, I talked about why I was doing this challenge, in some of the earlier episodes. So I wanted to kind of give everybody a quick summary on what the inspiring and motivating aspects were to doing this. So, I'm 𝐟𝐨𝐫𝐞𝐭, certified detoxification specialist, health coach, natural health and diet coach. And I eat a majority fruitarian diet, meaning majority fruit, leafy greens, a little bit of nuts, a little bit of seeds, right? And by majority, I'm talking 85, 90%. And then the other 15 to 10% will be an occasional cooked, let's just say, I don't like to use the word vegan, so plant-based meal. Okay. Right. So due to circumstances over the summer, my habits slipped a little bit. It started in, I believe it was June. It was in smack dab in the summer, and it was hot, and I live in Texas, and our air conditioning went out. It went out for like 3 weeks. And our fruit, it just couldn't stay right. It was rotting really fast. We couldn't really balance it out to where we can buy fruit and eat it fresh anymore. So that caused us to, unfortunately, have to eat a lot more cooked meals. That habit started to accumulate with some other events that had happened after that. We had taken a few trips, and I end up looking up and I'm not feeling as good. I've gained a little bit of weight, and I just wanted to do something to help me get back on track. You kind of get that train off the tracks a little bit, and sometimes it's hard to get back on. But I knew if I did a challenge like this and held myself accountable to come on here every day and share my wins and share my struggles with all of you, my community, my Eat Nation, that it would help me get back on track. And look, mission accomplished. So I wanted to kind of talk about a bunch of different aspects of this 30-day, how it went, some of the struggles, some of the wins, and also share it with you and hear some of your stories. Because the cool thing about this is, it wasn't just about me. It was about community. It was about you guys too. Like whatever challenge that you were challenging yourself with. And we had plenty of people that were doing this along with me. Some doing the Fruitarian challenge, others challenging themselves in other ways. But at the end of the day, it's not necessarily about the Fruitarian aspect. It's about the growth. It's about making those incremental changes, those small habit changes that become big habit changes. For instance, my wife's best friend decided to give up meat for 30 days. She's still a meat eater, so that's a big thing. That is a huge step. My mother-in-law decided to do Fruitarian up until dinner, and then she gave up bread and cheese for dinner. So that's a big thing for her. I had some viewers who were doing different things. Like some were doing intermittent fasting, others were getting rid of alcohol. Whatever it is, right? What can you give up for 30 days to help yourself grow and ultimately get better? That's what this was all about. Okay. So with that being said, for me, it was actually easier than I thought it would be. I had done one of these before. It wasn't a challenge, but I just did a straight 30 days of it, and it was a little bit more difficult than this. It was not very difficult for me. It was more along the lines of interest and and what I mean by that is sometimes, specifically if you don't have the fruits available that you want, things can get stagnant, things can get boring. I think that might have been one of my bigger struggles throughout this was not finding the quality fruit that that I yearn for. Especially like bananas are the foundation of my diet. And because they're a very dense fruit, high calories, and I like bananas, just plain and simple. So like they're kind of the foundation of my diet. And it was hard finding quality bananas throughout this process. And it's going to be hard moving forward. We found like for some reason that like the bananas just haven't been tasting as good here in Texas. And, we get them from different places and we're trying to find that spot. And we found a producer of bananas that we really like. So we've been buying that, for the last few weeks, after we kind of figured that out. But it's been tough because, you have your grocery spots, and if they don't offer that, it makes it a little bit more difficult. So that was a very tough part, a struggle, because when I don't have that, then I have to supplement and complement that with another fruit. And, it's kind of difficult, it's difficult to do, not that I don't like other fruits, but you have to compensate in a big way because like I said, from a calorie perspective, bananas are, pretty much 105 calories per banana. Whereas most other fruits are going to be significantly less than that. So that was a difficult part. So yeah, you get stagnant and bored as well if you don't have a variety of fruits. The majority, if you've been watching my lives, the majority of lives I was eating mostly bananas and grapes. Why? Because, well, the mangoes here suck. They suck. You saw one of my lives where I had about 7 different mangoes and I was just trying to find a good one. And I think I found one good out of the 7. And mangoes aren't cheap, so here they're not cheap, so that sucked because I love mangoes. Wasn't able to do that. The apples have been hit or miss because I don't know if I want to blame it on the farm or the producer or the grocery store, whatever the case may be, but these apples are being picked way too early. So the apples we're eating are so ripe. And the reason I know that is based on how my body reacts to them as of late. When you eat a few apples and you start to feel something, or let me say you get gas, for instance, or you feel any form of upset stomach or any type of inflammation, those are different signs that specifically right after you eat apples or any fruit for that matter, that they're not ready yet. They're not ripe. So that's been very difficult for me as well. The oranges, even though it's orange season, have been really bad. It's not melon season anymore, and I love my melons, and it was a really, really bad watermelon summer. So just a bunch of different things that added to a little bit of the struggle, but nothing too overwhelming. We got a little creative with the, leafy greens and some avocados and making our own raw Fruitarian guacamole, those types of things. So we got creative with it as well, but all in all, it wasn't that difficult. I think the biggest struggle day for me was when we went to the zoo, and that was very difficult for me because my kids, they just wanted French fries and they were eating all these French fries in front of me, and I'm smelling the French fries and the neurotransmitters are hitting and all that stuff. So that was difficult for sure. That was a little bit tough. But all in all, we got through it. I did have a healing event, a healing crisis that lasted, a few days. But I wanted that. You know what I'm saying? Part of the reason I wanted to do this was to eliminate a lot of the toxicity that I have accumulated throughout those weeks and months of forming bad habits. I wanted to clean house, and it was great that I was able to do that because I haven't had a healing event in a very long time. You know what I'm saying? So it was good to clean house a little bit. I feel so much better because of that. I wanted to lose weight. I've lost about 10 pounds doing this, give or take here and there, and to kind of get myself back to where I was after gaining weight from the bad habits that had formed in the last few months. And I wanted to show everybody, like, this is how you can balance out your body, balance out your life. And because, look, it's easy to get on here and say, man, you need to be 100% fruitarian, 100% raw, and that's just it. And if you're not, you're just not going to be healthy. Like, it's easy for me to say that. I don't even do that. Why? I would never say that, right? I never put myself on a pedestal or not understand or be so like disconnected with you guys to make you feel like it's something you can't grasp, because it's about progress. It's about the journey. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all are starting somewhere, and I meet you guys wherever you're at, and I talk about that all the time. So it's about understanding that every choice you make moving forward is either for the betterment or the detriment of you. So let's make more better choices, right? To get ourselves on a better path. And if we decide to make some huge leaps and some huge steps, that's beautiful. That's amazing. But let's take these steps to actually, understand more, learn more, and your body will kind of take care of itself, because your awareness picks up. You get addicted to feeling better. And then, eventually you look up 6-7 months from now, and you're like, holy crap, man, I haven't eaten Doritos in like 7 months. That's crazy. It's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? So, that's a big part of this, to kind of show you guys that, hey, look, you can slip up a little bit, challenge yourself, and get yourself right back to where you were, because we all have slip ups. We all do. And we have to give ourselves grace and understand that that's a part of the process too. And it's a learning process. You learn when you do things like this. You learn by your mistakes. You learn by eating some things that you weren't eating before, slipping into some bad habits, right? And then going clean and seeing the difference. Man, I almost forgot how good it feels not to eat Doritos anymore. It feels amazing. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So that's truly what it's all about. I tracked my food on Cronometer, which, I always advocate for, because I just think it's an incredible app to help you, to really give you an idea of how many calories you're eating, what's in, for the people who are really into macros and micros, it breaks that down for you, so you can make sure you're getting everything you think you need, all those things, if that's your thing. But ultimately, I do it mainly for the calories. And I like to track my ratios, my macro ratios, because I truly believe in the 80-10-10 diet, right? 80% carbs, max 10% fat, max 10% protein. Now, the keywords are max there. Doesn't mean you need to be 80-10-10. It means that the 10-10 is max, right? So for me, for throughout this Fruitarian challenge, my carbs were at 86%, right? And these are good, simple, natural carbs. Like, my cells are loving me right now. My cells are absolutely loving me. And they're going to produce for me. They're going to produce some high quality tissue. They are going to do some high quality rejuvenating, refreshing, it's just a beautiful thing, right? So 86% carbs, 10% fat, 5% protein. Man, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful ratios there. It was just a good challenge, a very successful challenge. And for those of you out there, if you want to share what you challenged yourself with, and how it's gone for you, and what you're going to continue to work on, that'd be really cool too. And the next steps from here, as far as me and this channel, we're going to be introducing a new live premiere series, I should say, called Detox Yourself. It's going to go in a line with my book, Detox Yourself, which you can actually purchase right now. Pre-order it in the description right now. So check that out. And the Detox Yourself is basically, we're going to dive into different aspects of natural health. each week and make it interactive. So if you have questions, thoughts, ideas, bring them to the table and we'll talk about it. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be fun. I'm going to be available for anything, any type of question and whatnot, and just build off of that. I also want to do a few different things. Now I'm still debating like on going live on my desktop versus my phone, just because, man, when I go live on my phone, I get a lot of new people that jump in randomly and, get to know me and get to hear about this. I just know that the quality of the video and the audio is not up to par. So what I need you guys to do is let me know, does that matter? If it doesn't matter, then I can, go live more vertical and we can have and do it that way. So I'm in the live feed, right? When I go live this way, I'm not really in the feed, but anyways, we'll see how that goes. I'd love to hear what your guys' thoughts are, because ultimately I'm doing this for us, right? For you guys, So I'm looking forward to that. We're going to be launching that fairly soon, right? I know that the first episode is going to be about the mindset and the mind. So that's going to be really, really dope. Make sure you jump into that. Make sure you've hit that subscribe button and the notification button so you know when that is going live. So you can get notified and jump on in and let's talk, So that's going to be really cool. I'm working on a few other things, some raw recipes that me and my wife are going to be working on and uploading and sharing with everybody. That's going to be really cool too. And I'll just go from there. But as far as the challenge goes, like I said, highly successful, few struggles, nothing too crazy. And now it's just about, moving forward, right? I'm back to where I was. So it's about maintaining, and then look, life happens. I'm going to have slip ups and whatnot as far as like my habits go. And then once that happens, it's time to do another challenge, So also, and I've talked about this before, another course, a course that I'm going to be offering up, Natural Nutrition 111. It's going to be a video course. I'm going to be doing the filming on that very soon. I've had a couple people already reach out to me and say they're interested in doing it. So if you are interested, leave a comment and I'll make sure that I let you know when that course is available. I'm not sure what the price point is going to be on that, but it's not going to be anything crazy. And I do have payment plans and all that stuff. So whatever works for you, but like we're all about leveling up here, right? Let's take us from step, 7 to 8, and keep on moving up incrementally and learning more and more and more. And, just growing together. That's what this is all about. You know what I'm saying? I want to share everything that I've experienced and learned with all of you. Also, if you're dealing with something, if you are dealing with any type of diagnosis, if you are looking to lose weight, you're struggling with losing weight, if you're just struggling to add more raw foods to your diet, you need a plan, you need something. I do offer free consultations. Just go to my website, 𝐬𝐿_coach.com, schedule one with me. And we'll talk, we'll kind of see where you're at. I'll let you know how I can help. And, if that resonates, if that aligns with where you are, we can put together a plan for you, right? Put together a plan. I can help coach you and get you to where you need to be. I've been through it. I went through it. I've been doing this. And I want to share that with you guys. So all of these things are available. Going into the next year. My ebook's available, The Natural Reset. That has an 8-week dietary plan in there if you want something just to do on your own. That's available right now. The ebook's available for donation only, whatever you feel it, whatever value you give it, you donate, and then you get the email with the downloadable link. Natural Reset. I am going to be offering the physical version of that early in the new year. I'm working on that right now. So if you want the physical workbook, the physical book, the Natural Reset Guide with the dietary plan and a journal and a grocery list and just a plethora of information, is about over 60 pages of just great information. That's going to be available too. So just a lot of things coming. You know what I mean? A lot of things coming in the new year. It's time to get healthy. It's time to share our light. And when I say healthy, I'm not just talking physical. I'm talking mind, body, and soul. And keep it moving, right? So, anyways, this has been like really cool. I want to thank everybody who's watched throughout these 30 days. I created a playlist specifically for it. So if you're new to it, you can go back and watch from the beginning, because it's not like I'm just coming on here. I didn't come on here every night and just tell you what I ate. Now, I did tell you what I eat, but the majority of it was actually me talking about different aspects of detoxing, different aspects of natural health, natural hygiene, the fruitarian diet in general, macros, micros. I mean, I pretty much feel like I talked about almost everything throughout these 30 days, and people had questions, and I dive into those questions on these lives, and just a great information throughout these videos. So if you just jumped in now, make sure you watch the previous videos to this, because there's a lot of information on there. And obviously on my page, I mean, I pretty much have videos on everything. And if I don't, let me know and I will make one, because I'm always looking for more ideas. And that's the thing, when you talk about this and you share this knowledge and you share these experiences, a lot of times I don't want, take for granted, it's kind of a negative connotation, but you almost think that everybody knows this information. So you kind of skim over things that you think, not purposely, but you think that people already know or you've already talked about. But though that might be the one thing someone really, really wants to know and for you to expand on. So you kind of glance over it. Let me know those things, because I want to be able to feature every tiny little aspect of everything underneath the natural diet, everything under detoxing and transitioning to raw and being a raw vegan, all those things, plant-based, anything that has to do with that, the mental aspect, the emotional aspect, the spiritual aspect, any little tiny thing. I'd love to expand on, and I know I've glanced over a lot. So my job is to try to figure out, okay, if I'm talking about, let's just say, for instance, I'm talking about protein, right? That seems to be a huge thing, right? Because everywhere you go, you get asked, how do you get your protein? How do you get your protein? What about protein? You go to the restaurant, what type of protein do you want? Oh, you don't want any protein? Protein. That's all you hear, right? And I might break it down, but if there's like specific aspects within that I glance over, or that maybe I'm just being a little bit too broad, let me know, because I can break it down to the what they call it, the biomimicry, like the smallest aspect of it. All right. And I love doing it. I truly do. Specifically protein, but because if I had $1 for every time I was asked it, man, I'd be a pretty wealthy individual. So yeah, stuff like that. Those are the types of things that help me as a creator and a teacher and a coach to help share with you guys. And I've been through it all. Like I've went through so many different things on this journey, so many ups, so many downs, things like that. That I want to be able to share everything, but sometimes I don't think that people want to see it or hear about it, right? But if you guys say, oh, tell me more about animal proteins versus human proteins, or why are amino acids more important than proteins themselves, just little things like that, and I can explain that. Oh, what's up, Plato ABC? Good to see you, my man. What's good? Good to have you jumping on, man. So yeah, and Plato, I'm just I'm just basically sharing how, for content purposes, if I go over something and I kind of glance over something that's of interest to somebody, let me know, because I can expand on those little things and make videos about those and talk about them and whatnot. But but yeah, man, that's pretty much what it is. But Plato, what's going on, man? Tell me something good. I'm gonna throw on this light real quick because it's getting a little dark. Hold on. Oh, that is way too much. Way too much lights. All right, there we go. All right, that's better. Not much good, to be honest. Tough week. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that, man. I'm gonna send you some positive energy. All right, some positive love, some good vibes, man. Hopefully things turn around for you, for sure, man. Hey, that's one thing, man. That's life. You know, we gotta take the ups with the downs. Yeah, I mean take the downs with the ups and just build on it, man. So yeah, man, sending you some good vibes, bro. There we go. Oh man, but yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. You know, that's we're gonna talk about a lot about that moving forward too. When I do my next series, my next live series, just because I keep telling everybody that it's not just about diet, man. It's mind, body, soul, right? Mind, body, soul, and it's all connected. So when we're not feeling good, guess what? We don't eat good. Just like when we don't eat good, we don't feel good, right? Emotionally. Those things all work together. So it's important that we understand that correlation, man. Things happen to us at work, things happen to us in our personal life, and we end up resorting to things like comfort food, thinking it's going to make us feel better, but it doesn't. It just actually builds upon how you're feeling, and it kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Compounds into something even worse, because when you have a healthy body and it's a hydrated, healthy, alkaline dominant diet, I'm sorry, you can handle things like that a lot better because you're in a better mental space. Like your body's operating at its best. So, your body's able to create the hormones needed to deal with things that might normally make you anxious or normally make you sad or normally make you depressed, and whatnot. But on the other hand, if we're having issues, in our personal lives and whatnot, and we resort to things that make us feel good in the moment, you know what I'm saying? Whether that's candy bar, or let me go eat some ice cream, or let me go splurge on some Chick-fil-A or something like that. It's going to feel good in the moment, but it throws our body so far out of balance that once that good feeling's gone, that first 15 minutes of you eating something, and then the reality hits, now you're sluggish, now you're tired, and guess what? You're right back into that doldrum of just a funky mood, funky energy and whatnot. So it's imperative that you understand the correlation of all that together. You know what I'm saying? That's not even to get to the chemical aspect of it. That's just trying to keep it simple for everybody, and it's tough. It's tough. I've been there, comfort food is a thing, like when you are in a certain mood or something happens, right? It throws your normality off. It throws your balance off. So automatically your adrenal glands almost go to fight or flight mode, right? Okay, let me produce things that are going to be able to compensate for the way that I'm feeling. And then what happens is now the way that your neurotransmitters and the way that your chemical, the way your chemical balance works when it comes to hunger kind of shuts off. So you start like you end up eating more than you normally would in those particular circumstances. That's another thing that you gotta have to watch out for. So just a lot of, just some food for thought for anybody who is dealing with something. It is all connected. And the best thing to do is eat electric foods, and those are your fruits. You're in a bad mood or something like that. Eat some fruit. It's going to give you it's going to give you electricity, and that's going to help you deal with that situation so much better. Easier said than done, because the mental aspect, when we're in tough times, we kind of rely on old habits and we kind of rely on what we're comfortable with. And a lot of times that's going to be comfort food and big hearty meals, that type of thing. But it's all about progress and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So, but with that being said, I'll see where we at here. Yeah, I'm going to shut it down. It looks like Plato, unless you got something else for me, man, I'm going to shut it down, and we'll be back, with the new series, Detox Yourself. We got the book coming out, Detox Yourself. Link is in the description. Make sure you check it out. Like I told you, this really helps you. It helps you understand how you've been intoxicated. And then it also helps you figure out, okay, now that I know, what are the next steps? How do I work on freeing my mind? How do I work on breaking that conditioning? And then taking that from a clean slate, from a kind of like a base foundation, and start recreating my life from a health perspective, an emotional perspective, and, getting to where we want to be, becoming the best version of ourselves. That's really what it's about. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, I'm about 40 minutes in, man. You weren't late necessarily. Said that today was the last day of the Fruitarian challenge, and I just jumped on, randomly. I find time in my day to jump on. It wasn't really something that was scheduled. So, but I'm always here to chat, man. If you got some things, you always have good questions. So I'm here to chat, man. Hit me up. I'm right here. Let me know. That's the beauty of Plato ABC, everybody. One of my top fans, one of my top people. Amazing questions. 40 minutes. Hey, man, nobody's asking any questions. What am I supposed to do? I'm just gibbering, jabbering, and talking. If I get some participation, then I'll talk. You know what I mean? That's how it works. But yeah, man, I'm here, man. If you got something, man, let's talk. What's going on, man? What's going on with you? Let me know. But yeah. All in all, I'm trying to think, what do I have coming up? I know I do have a few videos that are going to be dropping. I want to give a shout out to everybody who's watched my vlog / documentary on our trip to the Dominican Republic. It's been just got rave reviews on that, and I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch and be a part of me and my family's journey. It's really cool. I'm going to create a few other videos about the Dominican Republic just based on my experience there. And we're working on our next trip, which I think it may be Puerto Rico. And I'll be vlogging that as well. So I'm looking forward to that. And, just our journey. And there's some big changes coming in 2026 that I'll be sharing with you guys soon too. You know what I mean? That's ultimately what it's about. But since I got you guys here, I'm going to share. Let's see. Man, one of those days, I guess, not much to say. Oh, I get it, man. I hear you. I hear you. I'm guessing you're talking about you or me, because I feel like I've been talking so much for the past 40 minutes. Yeah, I hear you, man. Hey, be good, man. You know what I'm saying? Give yourself some love, give yourself some grace, man. You need some you time, man. So whatever makes you happy, do that to get yourself back on track, to get your energy back in the right place. All right. Put yourself first. Remember that. You always need to put yourself first. We've been conditioned to think that we put everything else first besides ourselves. No, you put yourself first, man. So whatever makes you happy, whatever you're into, exploit that right now. You know what I'm saying? Make yourself feel good. Bring some joy to yourself, man, because you deserve it. You know what I mean? That's truly what it's about. I think we get caught up in things like our job and our families and responsibilities that we forget about the main thing. And the main thing is you and your wellness and your livelihood. So focus on that, and whatever facet that might be. You know what I'm saying? I know, look, earlier today, man, I was in a mood. My animals were driving me crazy, absolutely crazy. And I was in a mood and I didn't know how to snap out of it either. I was just like easily irritated, and whatnot. And I know what was causing it. It was something I couldn't really get away from at the moment, but how am I going to cope with that? How am I going to deal with that? So I know what's something that makes me happy? Playing some Bob Marley. So I threw some Bob Marley on in the background, and man, my whole energy changed. Like I felt good. I got in my space again. And the little external factors, because everything that happens outside of you is an external factor, right? If you allow it to upset you or put you in a mood or bother you or anything, that is a choice, right? That's an external factor. But internally is where it truly matters. So find the things, the coping mechanisms that make you feel better internally. You know what I'm saying? Oh, thanks, Plato. I appreciate that. It's what it's about, man. Focusing on the positives, focus on the protons, man. Oh yeah, Bob, man. Look, you can't be upset or in a bad mood listening to Bob. You can't. You just can't. I challenge anybody. It's another thing too. This is by design. Think of the music that most people listen to, including myself, and the frequency and the energy that it's put out at. It's not put out to make you feel good. It's put out to make you, I'm not saying all music, but a decent amount of music, especially popular music, is put out to mostly make you dwell on things in your life that you shouldn't be dwelling on, or reminiscing about things that you really shouldn't be reminiscing on, or focusing on the past, or making you envious of things that you don't have. So it's not really for the betterment of you, and that is ultimately by design. But music like Bob Marley, and there's others, don't get me wrong, but for me, it's Bob Marley. It just makes you feel good. The words make you feel good. It's about something. It's even when he's singing about struggle and things of that nature, you can relate to it, and it's done in such a positive vibration that it just makes you feel good, man. So that's what I did today, and threw me right on track. I feel so much better. I couldn't imagine if I went live in that same mood. Like, it would have been a very short live. You guys would have felt that bad energy and probably jumped off and not watched. You know what I mean? So, for you, Plato, man, just, find your thing, man. And hope you feel better, dude. I hope, I hope whatever's going on is something that's temporary, and you can move past it or build from it. You know what I'm saying? And man, because usually, you got great energy, dude. I can feel your energy. So, there's nothing that should be holding you down like that. Well, thank you, Plato. I appreciate that. The kicker is, man, focus. Yes, my focus is food. That is my quote unquote expertise and experience per se. But before I got into food, like I'm just about people, man, and I'm about understanding how the human experience works, because I've been through a lot of shit. And I want to see people happy. I know food is a massive part of that, but it's all about energy at the end of the day. Even food. That's why my main philosophy is based off of energy, because energy and understanding the power that you have is something that has been hidden from us and ultimately taken from us. And once we gain that back, our whole life will change. I talk a lot about that in my book. Like, my book isn't about food. It's not. I mean, there's food elements in it, but it's about life. It's about being the best version of yourself. It's about not allowing external factors to dictate who you become, right? So one of the biggest cliches is we are a product of our environment, but we're only a product of our environment because we allow ourselves to be, right? I mean, we can't control, at least from a physical standpoint, 3D standpoint, we can't control where we're born, who our parents are, and, what we experience in our first years of life. We can't control that. But once we're conscious enough to where we can make our own conscious choices, then it becomes our choice as to how we're going to act, we're going to be, and what we're going to become. External factors are kind of what we've just been conditioned to look at as the basis of our happiness, the validation. That's why people do things for validation. Oh, let me look this way. Let me dress this way. Got to make sure I act this way so people like me. Fuck that. You like you. That's all that matters. Like, for me, I like me. I like who I am. I like what I do. I like what I talk about. And for those who don't like that, well, guess what? You don't have to be around me. That's your choice. I'm not going to change who I am for anybody because I love me. And once you love yourself and you're comfortable in your own skin, then what happens is your world gets manifested around you with things that you like. It starts to attract to you versus you having to go search for it. And you lose people in the process, a lot of people in the process. But that's okay because they're not meant for you. I remember in my old podcast, we had an episode where we talked about blood family versus spirit family and the difference between the two, because people think that because, man, if you're related to somebody that's family, you have to be loyal to them. You have to have them as a part of your life, and you don't. If they're not bringing you value, if they're not in alignment with your values and your character, then cut yourself off and move on and find your spirit family. Find your tribe. Find the people that are in alignment with you, that are on your same frequency. You realize that, it's a game changer for sure. Yeah, Plato, appreciate it, man. But and thank you for bringing that up, man, because that is another part that I'm going to be influxing and infiltrating into my channel as well. Because, like I said, it's all connected. It's all energy at the end of the day, and it's uber important because, at the end of the day, it's really, really hard to put yourself or change your diet. Change your habits if you are not in alignment with yourself, with your higher self, and you are not, if you don't understand your worth. Because if you don't understand your worth, if you don't have any self-worth, then why do you give a fuck if you change yourself anyway? So what I'm telling you guys out there is that you guys are beautiful, you are amazing, and you need to love yourself. If you do that, everything else falls into place. You know what I mean? That's the core aspects of truly changing your life. You know what I mean? 100. All right, Plato, I'm going to jump off, man. But I do appreciate you jumping on, and I'll see you guys next time, okay? I'm out of here, man. You be good, Plato. Sending you nothing but love, bro. All right? Be good. I'll see you on the next one, okay? Peace out.